Our next panel discussion is who's coming to town. So at this time, I'd like to welcome Shannon Licygewicz of the Albany Capital Center, Gina Mintzer, Director of Sales of the Albany County Convention and Visitors Bureau, and Deb Goedeke of the Albany County Convention and Visitors Bureau to the front.
We are great partners in crime here, I must say. Good morning, everyone. I'm Gina Mintzer, the Director of Sales of the Albany County Convention and Visitors Bureau, and I get to talk about who's coming to town. So our team at the Convention and Visitors Bureau, every day, we walk the talk of selling the destination of Albany County. While we're great partners with our friends Exit 4 on Wolf Road, to our partners that are in Latham, everybody wonders what are our boundaries. So we have 4 distinct neighborhoods of hoteliers and hospitality partners. So when you think about Latham, the Century House, and there's a Days Inn in that neck of the woods and a Comfort Inn in that neck of the woods, then you've got your Albany Airport area, the Wolf Road area, that's a distinct neighborhood. We also have a distinct neighborhood of what we call our university area. From either side of the University of Albany and the State Office campus, we've got the Western Avenue corridor as well as the Washington Avenue corridor. And then we have our downtown area. And we like to make sure that everybody knows that we're selling each and every property every day. I mean, the Albany Marriott is a very distinct partner that we have, but the Super 8s of the world are just as important, as well as the visitors that come and stay at those destination hotels. So with that said, with regard to meetings and conventions, we've been on the trade show circuit, which we've always done, but this year, with the added ability and an opportunity to sell the Albany Capital Center and the Capitol Complex, we've upped our game with regard to where we're going on that circuit. So to meet corporate meeting and event planners, Shannon and I, we went to a third-party meeting planner event that we've never done before, an appointment-based show to talk to third-party meeting event planners that have maybe 5 clients, from an association to a corporate client. And it was very successful, and we're working on that follow-up now. But again, it was new for us to promote Albany in that realm, but also new for them to see us in that realm. Sports meeting and event planners. We enjoy great sports business here, and we are a great sports destination. As any of you who came out to the NCAA women's basketball regionals, we had more butts in the seats than any other destination in the country, the other 3 sites for that tournament. And that was a testament to local ticket buyers' interest in sporting events, how the Times Union Center and SMG execute events, but also how we market and how we partner with each and everybody in town to make that a great experience. People said, oh, it was all about UConn. It wasn't. It was all about everyone here in this room who came out to that event, who bought a ticket and then ate out and then talked about the event on social media to make sure that it was a great experience for all who attended. So while going to those kinds of events, or our success with the NCAA, I was at the National Association of Sports Commissions. I had 33 appointments with various types of meeting and event planners that are in the sports market. Everything from USA Badminton, that could actually use the Capitol Center, to Harley Davidson, who I'll have a meeting with Spitzies, who's enjoying their 75th anniversary, but they do a rally event, a hog event, that we want to come here, and we have great potential to have that here. So we're selling the destination each and every time that we're out and about at our trade shows. So national associations, later this year, another person on our staff will go to Connect, an appointment-based show where we'll meet with a variety of national association meeting planners. We are a great destination for National Association meetings, but also a better destination for those regional events because of the easy access in and out of town and the size of the space that we have here. We're an affordable destination for that. Science and engineering, Shannon and I will go to CES, which is the Council of Engineering and Science Society Executives. Yeah, I'm not saying that fast 20 times because you don't want to hear that. But because of the growth of Tech Valley, if you know someone that's in any technical business that is traveling out of town for their association or society meeting, nudge them. Help them to be a host, hosted here, and we're going to talk about that in a moment. But we have great opportunity, everything from microbiologists to bioethicists to biomedical folks. We need to bring that business here, and we have great facilities to do that. Religious events. We've enjoyed many greater religious events over the course of business, and from the Times Union Center to the Albany Marriott to the Hilton downtown. And what I mean by that are there are large-scale and regional religious events, whether you're Methodists, Lutherans, Catholics, Jews, nations of Islam. They all have some form of annual meetings in some way, shape, or form. We're working on business now to bring JW events to town for the summer of 2016 and then beyond. And once those religious events come to a destination that welcomes them and whatever their religious affiliation is and treats them well like any other guest that we would, they want to come back. And state association meetings and events. Yesterday, the Business Review and the Empire State Society of Association Executives, I know their president and CEO, Penny Murphy, is somewhere here in the room. They announced that they're coming to the Capitol Center for a future event. We used to enjoy that business at the Empire State Plaza, and it's been in Saratoga for many years. And so we'll go back, hopefully, to that I guess you would say that rotation between Albany and Saratoga to make it the best that it can be for those state associations that are based right here in Albany. For those of you who don't know, we enjoy more than 200 state associations that are based here. That each and every one of us enjoy the fact that their staffs are based in downtown and all around the county, and they're eating in our restaurants every day as employees, but they're also bringing meeting and events here that might lobby the legislature, that might have their annual meeting here, or just a board meeting in town somewhere because of the fact that that state association is based here. So we've, like I said, every day we're walking that talk of bringing those folks here to town, and we do need your help to do that. And we want you to help us spread that word, to host it here. Every year we recognize Albany Ambassadors. It could be somebody local. They're not a paid meeting and event planner, but there's somebody local that's championed the effort to bring their meeting or convention business to town. So for instance, we had a local guy who recently hosted the Society for Industrial Archaeology. And they had a great conference at the Hilton, Albany, and they went on a variety of tours, not only in Albany, but also through Troy and other places because of industrial business that had once been hosted here. But that gentleman will be recognized at our annual meeting next year because his business was probably worth about $500,000 when it was all said and done with the monies that they spent for that business. So each and every one of you have a connection to a piece of business that could come here, and we ask you to host it here and to help spread that word.
Thanks, Gina. Okay, hi everyone. I want to take a quick opportunity just to have a quick moment to say that I am honored to be part of this Capitol Complex team. They are a really amazing group of talented people that I have really come to love already. So I wanted to take an opportunity to do that and take an opportunity to say how honored I am to be a part of Albany. As Bob mentioned, I am coming from the Providence area, and the welcome that I have received over the last couple of months has just been very much appreciated. So I just wanted to take the opportunity to say that. So. Now on to kind of the cool stuff, which everyone's always talking about. Oh, we're going to have these events that are going to take place in these facilities and 159 square feet of space. And probably some of you out there are saying, well, what sort of events are going to do that? Or what's going to happen in that sort of process? And I have the privilege of being able to come from a city that has a very similar blueprint to what we are creating here in Albany. So I can attest to some of the events and some of the successes of having these structures in place and how they're going to work. One event in particular that I was able to work with 2 years ago in Providence is called UUA, which is the Unitarian Universalist Association. And it's a huge group that comes in and really enjoys coming to not first-tier cities, but more of a mid-tier city because they like feeling like they're embraced by the city culture. They like coming in and not feeling completely overwhelmed and feeling like they really, really are able to embrace not only the downtown city, but the expanding areas and really do what they need to do. A couple of little tidbits of information. On average, they have about 4,500 to 6,000 attendees to this annual meeting every year. It requires, it's a unique event that requires about 30 different meeting spaces consecutively. So that really kind of puts you into picture of why we would need all three facilities and neighboring areas to make this event happen and make it successful. It's a citywide impact, which I'll go into on the last slide, which will really kind of give you an idea of what a large-scale type of event will bring to the city. But I also want to, kind of give you an idea of this is the sort of group that SMG will be pursuing and has connections with to help possibly bring this sort of business. So we can continue. So what I've done is kind of taken the specs of what this event is all about and just give everyone an idea of how it's going to fit into the facilities. So before you see the Albany Capitol Center, and the idea is, the registration for this group would be on first level pre-function, which Duncan had mentioned, 10,000 square feet of space, excellent space for that purpose. They would have show and staff offices and storage rooms at the convention center. They would have their board meetings and orientation, as well as their expo, which would be about 110 exhibits in the multi-purpose room. Then going to the Times Union Center, this is where we would need the larger space for the larger gathering. They would do worship and general assembly, and their welcoming and closing celebrations, which again, you would need that contiguous space that would be able to hold those larger full group numbers. They would also need everything from a counting room to a family lodge to storage to banner registration to just about all these different things that this conference really needs to be able to do what it needs to do in the city. Then at the Empire State Plaza, another amazing, unique, large space, they would hold, again, educational sessions and general sessions, religious reboot sessions, and also with all of their meeting rooms, they would be able to hold their mini chapter sessions. So all of these things, and the reason why you need so many of the spaces, because they all go on at the same time. These, 5,000, 6,000 people, they don't all sit in the same room except for their opening and closing sessions. They're doing their thing and experiencing their smaller meetings and meeting as groups in all different locations. Lastly, of course, the Egg, which offers what I think one of the most unique and special experiences, would be able to, again, house additional educations and conferences and maybe VIP speakers that they might have, all really kind of working together to be able to bring this event to life. Lastly, we want to just, again, give you the idea of what an event like this would do for the city. Room nights would be about 4,500. Direct sales would be $3,628,599. Indirect sales would be $2,318,383, and local taxes would be $392,722. So it's just kind of giving you some numbers and some depth with what we're trying to produce, and to give everyone a little bit of a better grasp of the type of groups and the idea of what we're going for. So thank you for your time, and I'm going to introduce Deb Goedeke.
Good morning, Deb Goedeke, Convention Services Manager for the Albany County Convention and Visitors Bureau, or better known as, hey, aren't you the lady that sends out all that traffic report stuff? So yes, I am, and I'm okay with all of that. So as Mayor Sheehan said, what is my role? My role really is to provide that very positive Albany experience for any of our groups that are booked here. So once our sales team books a convention, sporting tournament, family reunion, anything in Albany County, it's turned over to me at the services department. And looking at this audience today, I have probably worked with 90% of you in some way, shape, or form with regard to our conventions. As my role as Convention Services Manager, I do provide anything and everything the client may need in Albany County and beyond. From coordinating a Sweet Adeline's mass sing on the steps of the Capitol, to reaching out to the local food trucks for a client that has a Sunday event at the Palace, conference parking, coordinating a naturalization ceremony during a social studies conference, finding parking for 200 motorcycles during Freihofer's Run for Women. He just called me out of the blue because he gets my traffic alerts. Right? And being a referee between a client and a local vendor, I have heard it all. So I like to think of my role as providing that same service to all of our member partners and our colleagues, not just in the Capital Region, but across New York State. We do whatever it takes to get the job done and make the client happy. I am always looking for opportunities to make all of you shine as our partners, because when you all shine, our destination shines and they want to come back. We have all the bells and whistles of a local CVB, but I really feel we pride ourselves on going above and beyond in all that we do. I wanted to highlight 4 of the most asked for convention services that we provide complimentary to our clients. Attendance building marketing. How can I get people excited about coming to Albany? Okay, no problem there. I can do that. We have a customized destination microsite that links to clients' website that includes their very own conference concierge. A great example of that, the bar exam in July at the Empire State Plaza and the Times Union Center. We are getting emails from all kinds of people that have questions about Albany, where to eat, where to stay, and we're answering those questions. An on-site Albany destination kiosk staffed with volunteers during the client's peak conference hours, and you've probably seen those at some of our hotels already. The primary contact for sourcing and choosing the best value-added services for their event, and we start with our own member partners with regard to that. And a dedicated convention service specialist, which is myself or a member of our team. At the end of the day, here's the bottom line, and I think we should all be thinking about this. Our clients need to know we're all working together. We're sincere, we care about them, we care about their attendees, we care about their conference. It's not rocket science. How do I know that? Because I get the calls when that doesn't happen. So, cheers to a revitalized downtown Albany and the new Capitol Center, and I'm very excited about the possibilities that's going to bring to our city.
Any questions? We're here for you. So when Shannon was talking about the economic impact of the Universalist Unitarian Association, we ran that through our destination calculator, and it's part of nationwide, actually worldwide. People like us in the Convention and Visitors Bureau, we each have our own calculator that have multipliers based specifically for our destination. So if we ran that same set of numbers on Long Island, it would be totally different, or in Las Vegas, or in San Diego, California, because the multipliers would be different for that specific destination. And we base that on the actual numbers from Providence, as well as the contributions of the organizers for what they would rent for that, as well as, and so those direct impacts would impact the whole county, not just downtown, because people would be staying, as you could tell, with 4,500 room nights, they would enjoy hotels throughout all of our destination, and we couldn't possibly house them in everything in downtown. So, is that a good answer for that? Good.